Welcome to Everyday Linux User. In today's video, I am going to be showing you how to dual boot Windows 11 and AnduinOS. Now, for those of you who are partially sighted, you might think this is Windows 11, but no, this is AnduinOS, and it's another one of those distributions that likes to mimic another operating system. Last month, I was looking at Elementary OS, and that mimics the Mac OS operating system, and AnduinOS mimics Windows 11, but it doesn't do it in a bad way in the same way as Linux FX or Ubuntu does. It's just the Ubuntu distribution with Windows theming over the top of a GNOME desktop. So let's get started. The first thing to do is head over to AnduinOS.com, and when you click the download link you will see there are two versions. The 1.1 version, nicknamed Noble Numbat, is a long-term support release based off Ubuntu 24.04, and it gives you support until April 2029. The 1.3 version I will be installing for the Month On series is based on Ubuntu 25.04, and the reason for this is that it includes Flatpak support. Note that the support period for this is only until January 2026. When you click on the download link, it will give you the options to download the torrent or direct. Click on the direct link unless you use torrent software regularly. The download will start in the top right corner. Now we will need software to burn the Anduin image to the USB drive. To do this, we will use Ventoy. Head over to ventoy.net and click on the downloads link. Click on the Ventoy Windows zip file. This will take you to SourceForge. Click on the green download button and Ventoy will start to download after 5 seconds. When the downloads are complete, you can close the web browser. We can now create some disk space for AnduinOS. Open the start menu and type diskmgmt.msc. Now this dual boot guide assumes you are just using the one drive. Click on the Windows partition, right click and choose Shrink. When the window appears, enter the amount of space you want to give to Anduin. Never type more than the size available. You can see I type in 100,000, which is 100 gigabytes. Now click Shrink. You will now see that your Windows partition has shrunk and there is a section of unallocated space. You can now close this window. The next step is to create a USB drive with AnduinOS on it. Insert a USB drive and open Windows Explorer. The next step is to create a USB drive with AnduinOS on it. Insert a USB drive and then open Windows Explorer. Go to your Downloads folder. Double click on the Ventoy file and click Extract All. When the extraction is complete, open the Ventoy folder and double click on the Ventoy to Disk option. The drop down box should automatically select the correct USB. If it isn't the correct drive, select it from the drop down and then click Install. A warning will appear telling you all data will be wiped from the USB. If you want to continue, click Yes. It warns you once more. Obviously, if you have any data you want to keep, back up the drive first. Click Yes to continue and Ventoy will be installed to your USB drive. When the install is complete, click OK. You can now close Ventoy. Go to the Downloads folder, right click on the Anduin ISO and click the copy icon. Click on the Ventoy USB drive, right click and choose the paste option. The next step is to boot into Anduin, and to do this you will need to reboot your computer and press the relevant function key to show the boot menu. This differs for each PC, so search on Google for the boot key for your computer. So here you can see I hit the F7 key and selected my USB drive. When the Ventoy screen appears, click AnduinOS and then boot into normal mode. Then choose the first option from the grub menu. It should boot into the Anduin live image. When Anduin appears, double click the install icon. This brings up the Ubiquity installer, which was the original Ubuntu installer from many moons ago. I don't know why they changed it, it is quite nice. Choose your installation language and then click continue. Now choose your keyboard layout and language and click continue again. You can choose to install updates during the installation so that your OS is completely up to date post install. Do this if you have a steady internet connection. You can also install third-party libraries. I would check this box as it will enable you to play most audio and video formats. Now click Continue. We are now at the partitioning screen, and because we are dual booting, I always choose the Something Else option as it gives you full control. Find the large section of free space and click the plus symbol. Set the mount point to / and then click OK. Change the bootloader download to be the same partition as the Windows Boot Manager as shown here. In my case it is /dev/sdb1. Click Install now. A warning will appear stating that the partitions you selected will be created and any data will be wiped. If you are happy, click Continue. Select where you are on the map or enter in the box provided and click Continue. Finally, set up a user by entering your name, a name for your computer, a username, and then enter and repeat the password you wish to use for that user. You can choose to log in automatically or require a password. I always recommend requiring the password. Click Continue. Anduin will now start to install to your computer, and this can take about 15 minutes. When the installation is complete, you can click Restart Now. You will be asked to remove the USB drive, and when the computer boots, press the relevant function key to bring up the BIOS screen. This differs for each make and model of computer, so use Google to find out what this key is. You can see I pressed the escape key, and in the BIOS I went across to the boot menu, and then down to the drive priorities. Select the first boot option and choose Anduin from the list. Press F4 to save and the computer will boot. Select AnduinOS from the list and Anduin will start to boot. You can now log in using your username and password and you will be in your new AnduinOS operating system. And that is the end of the video. If you liked it, give it a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next time on Everyday Linux User.